Yes, legends, how's everybody doing? Hope you're doing fantastic today. We'll be analyzing the situation here for the price of Bitcoin, which is not looking extremely great and easy, guys. Make sure to smash it up all the way. I got a dislike there. I've seen it. Let's go, legends. How is everybody doing? Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Let's crack on. It is Friday today, and we are ready. We are ready because it's Friday, and we are going out tonight. Make sure to smash up the like button. Let's go through the comment section. I'm ready. It is Friday. Let's go, legends. Let's say hello to the beautiful community right away and see what's going on here with the chart with Bitcoin. I have to say, it hasn't been easy price action. It hasn't been easy price action. I did get a few DMs from people longing in this zone, and that's absolutely phenomenal. We talked about yesterday the price action getting an impulsive move to the downside, slowing down here in this region, and I actually got some people that not only shorted but also managed to get into a long position in the last 24 hours, guys. Let's go right away through the comment section and say hello to the beautiful community, okay? See what's going on. Let me know if the music's a little bit too loud. It is Friday. Friday is to have music loud, spend time with friends and family, and overall, we need to get some stuff ready. I have some stuff ready here on the charts for you today. Let's go through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community. What comes next, guys? Do you think 90K or do we get below 85K again? Let me know right away in the comment section. Time to short. It is interesting for shorts, no doubt. Okay, time to short. It is very interesting. However, we want to be a little bit cautious, okay, as well, because there is a lot of liquidity above 90K, guys. There is a lot of that liquidity above 90K, and momentum is bullish. But looking at Elliott wave theory, of course, we would arguably discuss that this already looks very 5 wavy. We're looking to top out in this region and get a pullback. This structure right over here looks incredibly corrective. It's going to be interesting for a double top situation here, guys, okay? That's what I'm speculating on here right now at the moment. So there could be an internal day trade short. I want the price to sweep up these local highs. That would be the ideal scenario for me to enter a short. Some people are saying it is time to short. It's time to short. Without a doubt, what we can see with this price action, okay, from the movement down that we had yesterday, beautiful, beautiful 5 wave move down. Look at this, guys. Biggest move in the middle, then your 5th wave gets exhausted. Time for the reversal bounce to get above the lower highs. We talk about this a lot, guys. We talk about this strategy a lot, okay? So I did actually get a couple of DMs which I was surprised, saying, man, absolutely insane. I shorted, I took profit, I remained patient for this last wave. We've formed a 5th wave, and then we got the insane reversal to get above the 4th wave. You would arguably discuss here if this is the correct count. Now you might think, well, if this is an impulse down, shouldn't we correct here and then move lower? That's where we get into the meat and potatoes today, okay? That's where it becomes complex, because what we've had throughout the last few days, my goodness, there's some very interesting Elliott wave complex scenarios inside of this area, which people are not going to enjoy. People are not going to enjoy me talking about, WXY sideways. We might form a flat, then a triangle, and all of this nonsense. People are going to be like, yeah, screw that, okay? I want levels. I want to get into trades. And this is why I want to focus more on intraday scalping as well. Just keep it simple for the viewer where it's actually possible. Get into small little scalp areas, okay? And obviously hold some of that position, which, maybe could go lower, right? Anybody that actually shorted in this region yesterday obviously can maintain some of that and maximize profits, okay, from that short position. So what I would like today is to get that rejection from this pivot, okay, from this pivot high. There's one reason why I think we could actually move up to this zone, and that could be a rejection point. And that is because of this momentum to the upside. Definitely looks very 5 wavy. However, on this latest move up, all right? This would have to be a truncation because we didn't quite up here is actually quite interesting. Yeah, we kind of barely just, oh, we actually tapped it on Coinbase. It was tapped. It was tapped here, this high. So acceptable entry. This would have been an acceptable entry short. Okay. I thought it was not tapped by a few dollars. And this momentum to the upside, bang, bang, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 finishing here eventually because you got the 1, 2, 3 consolidation and fifth wave here, tapping the high just by a couple of dollars. So that was a valid entry short, just purely based on Elliott wave theory. Okay, there's a little bit of an order block here in this zone, looking at the higher time frame. It was an acceptable entry for a short. I would take into consideration, depending on how we hit this high, that this could still be part of the corrective wave 4. However, it is extending a little bit. Let's see. I mean, taking out the highs here and possible SFP is valid in my opinion. So we're going to see if that is going to be the case, or we break through here from the highs. And obviously we go to the liquidity pocket, right? There's a massive liquidity pocket heading up above $90,000, okay, which we can see here on the liquidity heat map. Okay, lots of liquidity up there, as we can see, and it seems like the price is building momentum to the upside. You know what would be very interesting, and I would be happy to speculate in a long position, is if we do get a larger pullback here. Okay, weekend is coming. Weekend is usually slow. So today it's either going to end up with a volatility, either popping up or popping to the downside, and then looking for that corrective structure would be ideal here to then form that zigzag to the upside. This would be my preferred scenario eventually, if we can detect that this movement down starts getting overlap, right? Just like yesterday, we were discussing this scenario yesterday here, where for this to be multiple 1-2s, third wave, you want that shallow pullback to get continuation here with 4-5s, shallow 4-5s. We got the retracement down to the golden pocket from this pivot low. So that means that this structure is likely coming to an end, and we're going to range, but obviously looking for more downside from yesterday's price action. Yesterday was pretty nice. We got the movement down beneath the lows of the last few days. 5-wave structure. It is crucial to detect the fifth wave, okay, to enter the reversal. I know there has been a few people, based on the analysis of the drop that we were getting yesterday. Guys, pay attention for a 5-wave move down. Fifth wave is the one that's going to be looking interesting, especially if you sweep those lows of yesterday for that reversal. That is a good long position. You're sweeping some lows, you're claiming liquidity. It's actually a very, very good long position to enter here, at least to claim this lower high, okay? At least to claim this lower high right over here, which is, the main target here for your wave 4. So, I mean, absolutely epic. I did get a few people jumping into that long position out of nowhere, based on basically what we teach and what we talk about here on YouTube. So yeah, we're going to discuss a few of the scenarios here. Very, very slow price action in the last several hours here. Okay, very rangy. I'm going to say that, sweeping up the lows of the range is an option. Okay, we always like that kind of trade. In this case, the range is important to either look for a long or a short. You claim the highs. If you get the reaction, it could get a nice move down to the range lows, or this local range low gets the sweep here and actually manages to find, support and doesn't break down. Of course, if it breaks down, then eventually I want to get down to, basically this area right over here, and then we'll analyze the price action later on. Okay, but ideally for the bullish case scenario to go to higher levels, we want to see some kind of a larger corrective structure that might be nice into the weekend. I mean, weekends are usually low volatility. They're usually very rangy. So yeah, let's see the weekend. But ideally, if this is going to be an impulse to the upside, and that we are going to get continuation up to sweep up $91,000 where we have that liquidity pocket, then eventually, we want a bit of a larger correction here after a possible 5-wave move up. And it will be detectable. Of course, it will be detectable if the movement down is going to be more corrective, or is it just going to nuke down very, very aggressively like we had yesterday, right? There's no point of looking at this as any correction and longing. You need to wait for that 5-wave impulse down to finish and then look eventually for the reversal at the 5th wave. So the movement down here is going to be pretty interesting. I have to say that the best option short today would have been here. I thought that this high was not tapped, but it was, just looking here at the exact level. And just out of education here, we can see how we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, beautiful. In the 5th wave, it is it's basically your game here to figure out a 5-wave move. Okay, you need, look at the 3rd wave, high volume, long consolidation, tapping the high. This is the moment where you're looking for rejection. You're looking for that rejection. Like little scalp first, sweep up the low would be your first target. And then obviously, if it does move down much powerful, where then obviously you're holding some of that position to get a bigger pullback. Okay, just some education right over there, just to realize where would I look for that entry point. Well, obviously it's the 5th wave of the 5th wave. 5th wave of the 5th wave is where you're looking for that corrective move down. Let's go right away through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community, see what's going on here. And yeah, we got New York open in about an hour from now. Microphone problem. Let me know that maybe the microphone is not too loud. Sound is absolutely fine here, bro. Okay, let me know. Yeah, let me go. Maybe music is a bit too loud. Maybe you can't hear the music. Maybe you want higher music because it's Friday. Love the costume today. Thank you very much, bro. Yeah, it's like beach style, right? Thailand beach style. We got it here today, guys, because it's Friday. And Friday, we want to feel good because the weekend's coming. Spend time with family, friends, despite the charts, right? We're going to look for some internal... that's not an impulse, dude. Jesus Christ. Can people stop counting this incorrectly? Okay. Well, tell me why. Tell me why this could not be an impulse, right? This move right over here. Which one? This one or this one? Let me know which one you don't think is an impulse. Okay, they both look very impulsive, of course. One can be related to a flat structure. One can, it's very, very confusing range, I have to say. But man, as you are the pro here, let me know in the comment section. Give me the timing, give me the pivots, the numbers. Legends B Beach, let's go. Yes, today is the day, Devil, my man. Make sure to go and check out Devil. He's an absolute legend with TA and education, guys. Go and check him out, okay, on his channel, Devil Trading. 82 is coming. 82K is coming, okay? $82,000. Bitcoin is coming down all the way here. We reject from here very strongly to the downside? We'll have to see. Okay, we're gonna get a few scenarios. Where do you put stop loss on what trade? Well, first of all, I have to say, entering here, I like to get into the trades, but at the exact levels, right? Eventually, there is a possibility of counting this as the end of this movement to the upside. Okay, there is that valid, very, very valid count. I don't like this wave too much. Okay, but you got the biggest move in the middle. That's what you want to see. 1, 2, 3, the correction, and then this push to the upside. So you know, naturally you got a small little order block in this range, right? There's not much resistance. There's not much resistance here, I have to say. Expanding fifth waves is an option also. An expanding fifth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This actually expands. You know, the fact that we got a lot of liquidity here, sitting at the $91,000 range, that would be my ideal zone to look for a short position as a swing short. Okay, this would be the ideal area for a swing short, for a bigger move eventually to the downside, which, you know, we can go through that scenario. Of course, we're doing a little bit of the Elliott wave theory here and look at the levels of confluence above this zone, okay, where we have a lot of levels up there, okay, round about the $90,000 to $91,000. Okay, let's start off with Fibonacci. Okay, we know that Fibonacci's done its game here. Golden pocket holding very, very nicely from the pivot low to the pivot high of this uptrend momentum that we got, right, in the last couple of weeks, right? This movement here, pivot low, pivot high. When we get Fibonacci from the low to the high, we got golden pocket bouncing very nicely here on Monday. And then obviously yesterday we got that liquidity grab beneath it. Very, very good, interesting zone to get into a long, as explained, especially looking at the lower time frame, guys. Lower time frame, this is what we teach. This is what we teach. You need to look for the price action, finishing that fifth wave. And if you are finishing that fifth wave here into a level of, you know, liquidity, it's absolutely golden, right? That's the finished move. You're looking for that reversal bounce. This is where you want to get into longs. I have to say this area can be a complex sideways corrective structure. Okay, there's many options. This is going to blow your mind, but as we get information, now you might think, well, this is an impulse down. Well, we should correct here. This should be a correction. We should get continuation to the downside. Well, if this is an impulse, we should correct here and then move up. And you're like, hang on a minute, impulse down, impulse up. What the heck is going on, right? Something is not right here. And don't worry, we'll get into the meat and potatoes here. We will actually break down the different possibilities, okay, based on impulse down, impulse up in the last couple of days. And you might think, holy smokes, you know, what is going on here? Well, you know, it can be, this is a very, very overlappy, choppy, rangy structure. And you know, this is when you get into those complex WXY structures that nobody wants to know about because they are very, very complex, right? And everybody's like, yeah, who wants to learn about these sideways confusing scenarios, right? And I know a lot of it is tough and it is a bitter pill to swallow when we do talk about these sideways WXYs that could be on the formation, right? And this is one of them, right? There's many different other ones, but we will break down a few of the different scenarios here on the higher time frame. So bear with me here because I do have some stuff ready, legends, okay? And yeah, we'll see here if we maybe some internal scalps. I mean, I'm more of an SFP guy. I like to see some sweeps of highs, sweeps of lows. That's what we're going to discuss here, okay? So for me, yeah, for me, it's going to be you know, the main option here would be I would be speculating here on a push up and then down, or either sweep the lows of this range and then possibly get the rally back up. Okay, very, very long range today, and if we break down, we go lower and we're going to remain patient. I will explain the different possibilities here, and if we move up, then, you know, and break through, then obviously I would be wanting to see these highs and even higher above 90k to be hit to claim all of that liquidity. So anyway, it is a bit boring, rangy structure throughout many hours today. Okay, nothing much is happening, but we can break down some internal levels, some scalp ideas, and obviously the higher time frame, right? Complex Elliott wave theory that a lot of people don't want to hear about. Okay, ETH, love the style, mate. Thank you very much, my man. Today was the day. It's Friday, so we had to get ready, right? We're going out today. Today's the day. It's Friday. We're going out. We're having a good time. Spend time with friends and family. Have a giggle. Stay chilled. Yeah. We're either going up or down. Yes, you're late. I am new here, still catching up. Am I late? You're not late. We haven't even properly started yet. We're just talking about some major scalping. We've got a bit of news. I know some people here. We'll talk about some news, interesting things that is going on. But obviously we are chart analysts and we want to know the biggest zones. Okay, so we'll start off with the higher time frame and then we'll zoom in on the lower time frame. Okay, but higher time frame because things are changing quick, guys. This and this, man, we got a big, for me, this was easier. This was an easier zone to look for internal trades, nice little day trades, small swing trades of a couple of days. But since we got this movement down and we're doing this mess, man, not being an easy area, right? The bears are just going to stick bearish and they'll just stick with, it's a bear flag, okay? And we're going to break down. That's it. No, why look too further? It's just simple, right? Well, then you get the surprise pump that actually, gets to 90K. You get a correction and then you maybe get to above 95, 98K, right? And then what? Well, it wasn't a bear flag, right? So there are some possibilities still here. The fact that we formed a higher low still from this pivot gives the possibility of a larger triangle, believe it or not. But as you have a higher low, you need to speculate on, okay, there's still a chance here for a extended triangle and then move to the upside. So yeah, we're gonna break this down, okay? Let's talk about the triangle. First of all, let's talk about the bullish case. Bullish case would be an extended triangle, okay? Just because this price action is incredibly messy, and to get some kind of an impulse down here is complex. You would have to count that contracting diagonal, okay? And you're forming a larger WXY here, very choppy price action with the potential of getting above 90K and then rolling over. Despite this is actually it's very, very interesting, both scenarios. I got other scenarios as well, but these two scenarios are interesting because if we are forming a triangle here, all right, we had a couple of triangles, but they've been invalidated. Okay, this one is looking still acceptable, but the importance is here. This, without a doubt, I can tell you, I've seen it before, is the zone of rejection. Okay, this area right over here, sweeping above 90K, even getting to $92,000, right? It's going to be a bit of a rangy area. Is the zone of rejection. This is the zone of rejection on the higher time frame to get that pullback. So I'm eventually very, very interested in this zone, not only because of this possible triangle, it's because of the liquidity and because of the confluence. Now, ups in this area, we do have this point of control. If we do count this entire range, okay, since the 17th of November, range, it is a big fat range, right? It's a zone where the price has been trading here for over 3 weeks now, right? Almost 4 weeks. Yeah, over 4 weeks actually now. The highest volume node is in this region. It's a tough level to crack. Okay, if we were to come up there in the next coming days, I would not believe that the price is going to shoot up here successfully. So it becomes a very, very solid level of resistance. Point of control, number one, right? Point of control of the range. That's it. That's sitting at $91,500. So we got a level right there. Range, point of control. If the price gets up to this zone, what other confluence do we have? Well, looking at simple Fibonacci from this pivot high, to the pivot low, what do we have up there? It's the golden pocket coming in at $91,000 range. Golden pocket from this movement down. Okay, that's what we like to see. We like to see a zone where there's, you know, everything is there. Everything is there, right? The confluence is in that zone where the price is going to have a bad time to try and break through this zone successfully. We know about golden pocket, right? We can just get the Fibonacci from this pivot low and this pivot high. Golden pocket is the one that's sustained right here at $84,000 to $85,000. That's golden pocket from this move up, right? It's trying to break it, holding nicely throughout the last few days. From the movement down, golden pocket is here with that point of control, right? Very, very nice area. When we do look at the different Elliott wave structures that could develop, well, obviously we do have this scenario where you have a three-wave structure, and if you want to fit a triangle, you have to fit a running triangle here, okay, which is wave A, wave B, wave C, because you formed a new low. All of this would have to be some kind of a complex corrective structure. Double zigzag would fit in here nicely. There is the ways of counting it. We ain't going to go down that hole, you know, at the moment, because, you know, it doesn't matter. There is a way of counting this as a correction also. With that said, in a triangle, it's very common to get to in between the golden pocket and the 0.88 Fibonacci. So yeah, there is a possibility that this might squeeze a little bit higher to 93K zone, because there is, you know, a possibility in a triangle to hit the 7.8 Fibonacci. Most, you know, the most extended level is the 0.88, which is the case here, right? If this were to be the C wave. But this is the area literally where, you know, you're looking for the price to struggle, 91, 92, right? And, you know, get that turnaround. That turnaround at least, you know, in my opinion, we would look at least at the 382 Fibonacci from the pivot low to the pivot high that is created. At least 382, as it is one of the most, you know, minimum targets to hit when you finish a wave. Okay, over 75% of the times after finishing a wave, you hit the 382 Fibonacci. Of course, you can hit later on 50, 60, but you know, 618. But that would be the first major target zone, and then obviously you could actually go to much lower, golden pocket 7.8, right? And obviously, in this scenario, what you would be looking at is a triangle here, finished for the E wave, all right, finished for the X wave. You know, I have to say, it's one of the scenarios, right? It is one of the potential scenarios, and with this potential scenario, you have a very, very strong area of confluence that would match the triangle formation, forming a lower high from this pivot again, just so you sweep up that liquidity. Okay, this is a very, very interesting area. Okay, very, very interesting area of you know, to get some liquidity. We can see it on the liquidity heat map, just above 91K is that pocket of liquidity. There is a lot up there, and once you grab some liquidity, then, you know, it does make sense to possibly get that turnaround. So that, for the moment, on the higher time frame, becomes the best interest area, okay, to look for the price to get the reversal back down. Will we manage to get up there? That is the main question, right? But if we do get up there, it's the moment to take decisions. It's the moment to take decisions here. Look for that choppiness. Look for the, you know, swing failure pattern here from this lower high zone right over here in this area at 90.5K. Get above it, maybe $500, $1,000, right? But overall, look for that choppiness, rejection, consolidation, exhaustion to get that rollover. So that's a very, very interesting area here on the higher time frame, right? This would be more of a higher time frame speculation on the price of Bitcoin getting into this zone and reversing. So that's one scenario that we do have here. And then we have another one, which obviously is This movement down, WXY finished, right? We got the finished 3-wave structure. Despite all of this, is very noisy. It is very, very noisy, very overlappy. We want to understand the different levels and areas that we could have to take that opportunity. But this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the downside. The only solid way to get a motive wave here is a contracting diagonal. You know, multiple 1-2s not possible. An impulse, a regular impulse not possible also because of all of the overlap here. So the only solid way to count this as a motive wave is this contracting diagonal, right? Which would be a leading contracting diagonal. And then you have all of this overlap, all of this mess that, you know, in theory, it would have to be some kind of a complex WXY to get that wave 2 finished and get the continuation down. I have to say, it's not looking easy, this range, okay? We can keep it easy and say, guys, you know, the best zone is this liquidity pocket on the higher time frame above 90K, and, you know, sweep all of those lower highs that we got in this region and then get the pullback, right? This is the rejection, the failure point zone in between 90 and 92K eventually. It's just, it's pretty obvious that this is the most interesting area for the price to roll over. And this is a higher time frame. We'll get to the lower time frame now, guys, for some internal trade setups, okay? But higher time frame is important for the people that watch it and maybe watch it later or tomorrow and then say, okay, I'll be paying attention to that zone, right? I'll be paying attention to this zone for the possible rejection. On this scenario, which we have the finished, right, move up, WXY, double zigzag, leading diagonal, and then all of this mess, which is, you know, it's getting a little bit complex here for sure. It is getting complex. If we are relating this movement to the upside as a 3-wave structure, okay, we can see, even though I do not like this move to be related with this one because of timing, as explained yesterday, but the structure is what leads the way. You got the movement down, a lower high, and another movement to the downside. With this, you got a zigzag up and a zigzag down. What does a zigzag up and a zigzag down give you the possibility for to form here? Well, eventually it's a flat, okay? So this zigzag up, this zigzag down, and here you have that 5-wave structure as explained. Well, eventually that's what you want to see in a C wave, right? A wave, B wave, and the C wave down, 5-wave, that's all good. So you can have a 5-wave down and the bounce is a 5-wave also, if all of this is going to be part of a zigzag, right? That's just to get the confusion out, right? Because I know, you know, this is a common question. You know, we've got an impulse down and an impulse up. Well, which one is the one that's leading? Well, with this theory, you would obviously, you know, understand that, okay, you know, you got this movement, zigzag up, zigzag down. What does a zigzag up and a zigzag down, what other options does the price give to you? Well, one of them is a flat, where you form an impulsive move here. A running flat is possible. So this does look like impulsive. Could there be a chance of the price even topping out in this region to just roll over very aggressively in an impulse to come back down below $84,000, right? 84.5. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? You know, this could be the scenario. You got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contracting diagonal and an ABC running flat. Maybe this could be the high zone. Running flats are not too common, but I have to say, you know, it's definitely an option. Zigzag up, zigzag down, impulse up, didn't manage to get to the liquidity pocket, and now roll over down. The only best way to get into the short here, guys, and I have to say, is that local double top. Okay, you can attempt one right over here if you're happy in getting into a short here, and then saying that it's, you know, got some people saying in the comment section, we're gonna dump, right? Market's been pretty ferocious in the last few days, where we pump and we dump, we pump and we dump, and we pump and we dump, right, with that theory. And you have a little bit of a losing steam momentum here, and it does look like quite completed to be a 5-wave move up. So with that, you know, theory, you would say this is really ready to get that rollover, right? You know, at least locally here, right? And obviously that's explained here on the lower time frame, right? On the lower time frame, you would obviously be cautious, know exactly where you want to enter. This is why, you know, saying here the best zone to speculate on a short is literally the 5th wave of the 5th wave. You really want to get in at a good level, manage risk very well, and if the price gives you that option, you got a really tiny stop loss. Okay, got a really tiny stop loss here, and that's coming with the possibility of this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, you can see here to the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, this is your zone of interest, right? Once you stop chopping here, that's the zone that you want to look for the longs on the 5th wave, especially if you've claimed a major low. You know, it's just the perfect option here eventually to get into the long position. With this price action, just because the lack of resistance, I mean, when we go to the 1 hourly here or 30-minute, yeah, you know, you would arguably discuss, yeah, there is that little tiny block there. But, you know, is this enough resistance? You know, is it enough resistance? I think that the resistance is weak here. Resistance is weak. Little order block. You do have that point of control of this range of yesterday. You know, it is a point of control regardless. It is but it's very weak, I would say. Yeah, high volume node from that consolidation from yesterday. I mean, that's where the price is reacting today, right? That high volume node that we have from this region. So not incredibly strong, but if you do have a possibility of the, you know, a 5th wave being finished here, then eventually, you know, what you're looking at most commonly is for that correction to come down to the 4th wave, which is very common to get at least to the 4th wave after finishing an impulse, right? And that's like simple terms, right? We go through this all the time. You know, that's one of the main scenarios, one of the main target zones. 4th wave, that's your first target right over here, right? And, you know, you can just see it here with a few lines, right? It's very common after a 5-wave move up. Okay, if you can detect that 5th wave, you understand that a reversal to get to that 4th wave is, you know, just very common, right? We've got one right over here. You know, it just happens all the time. It's just how the market moves. So, you know, with that theory here, you would arguably discuss the same scenario. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Common area coming down to this zone. However, you know, the problem is here the risk, you know, getting into the trade, right? Getting into the trade, ideally, you want to detect the 5th wave of the 5th wave for an absolute insane entry, right? Which would be this one right over here. And that's like the absolute legend, right? That's been sitting on the chart, knows what he's looking for, and you know, he's been watching the price action just to get a good solid entry where you do have good risk management, right? Because from that pivot low, right, if this is a correction after the movement up, you can see here from this pivot low, bang, 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 and bang, take out the high by $1 or so. And it was very, very shallow hit here from those highs. So naturally, you know, your best entry is here, right? Your best entry here as you sweep those highs, and, you know, potentially to sweep the local lows and even coming down to the fourth wave. But you can see the risk to reward and the entry and the risk management, and you might think, well, doesn't it make sense to enter now? Right? Doesn't it make sense to enter now if you believe that is the case? Well, here's where we have a little bit of the issue. Very, very rangy. The movement down here, is it looking impulsive? It's very overlappy. You know, you would want to see a solid boom, 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 bang, 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 right? And then I would say, okay, this actually looks like it's going to roll over and form a lower high. But, you know, this is like 5-minute time frame. So there is, you know, that 3-wave move down here, overlap. This is not looking too great. This is not looking too great. It's actually looking corrective. When you get the rejection, regardless, Elliott wave works on the 5-minute, 1 minute, 10 hours, doesn't matter. If you get that rejection here like this, and you get the overlap from this pivot, there is a problem. There is a problem for this movement to be a motive wave down. Ideally, what you would want to see is some kind of a, you know, boom, boom, bang, little shallow movement, bang, and then this bounce that's happening now, right? To be confident to say, okay, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna, you know, reject at the 50% golden pocket, you know, and then get the rollover. But yeah, it's very, very overlappy. It's very rangy, and with this rejection that has this overlap, you know, it brings you awareness, right? I'm aware of the highs being taken out again. So if you did not get into the short here, getting into a short here with stop loss here is you're asking to get stopped out. You're asking to get stopped out just because this looks more corrective than impulsive to the downside. Okay, so yeah, just a little bit of the local, you know, price action here with the education. Let's go through the comment section. So if we were to take out those highs, it's going to be an interesting zone. It's going to be an interesting area. We don't have much resistance, I have to say. There's literally not much resistance in this area. The only solid resistance that we do have is, you know, relying on Fibonacci. The 7/8 Fibonacci is the one that's been tapped today from the highs of yesterday to the lows, with that point of control. So point of control with the 7/8 Fibonacci has been hit. That's where we are getting the resistance at the moment. But if we take out the local highs, I need to understand what resistance do we have, right? What pattern do we have here? And what kind of resistance, you know, is there any good solid resistance here for me to take a short position? And I have to say, the only option for me, just as we were discussing yesterday with the internal levels and scalping entries, right, to look for the rejection, right? It's either sweep the high or sweep this lower high. And we finally got the cheeky one, which almost took the high. That was the one that rejected. Yeah, here, an SFP is going to be the only option, at least for me. If price maintains above this area, you know, I'm not interested. I would treat also a failed auction and then roll over, just realizing that this could be the fifth wave, right? Maybe fifth wave hasn't finished. It just was a little bit tricky, very long fourth wave, I have to say. But a double top here from the local highs makes sense. If you break through, I have, you know, literally no interest. There could be a little bit of a cheeky short at the 0.88. It's the only level. There's just no solid confluence here, unfortunately. So I'm going to treat these levels as guidelines, and we'll see how we go. as explained, that the movement down is looking very choppy, corrective. Obviously, you know, could be wrong and you just form a lower high and you nuke. But yeah, if I don't enter at the highs, I don't want to enter here when I do see this looking very corrective, right? Which gives me a good chance that we're going to take out the local highs. So not too interested here in getting into the short unless we get an SFP, all right, from the local highs. And if we squeeze out, then the 0.88 is going to be the option. I've got no other option here. Either double top SFP or 0.88 Fibonacci. This is where I'm managing risk. If we break through, then I'm no longer going to be adding to short or any of that nonsense, right? It's either this level, it's either this level. One of them, it has to be respected if I am looking for the larger correction. If we do break out, right, say that the price really starts rallying here to the upside, then I would say that, you know, we're probably forming an extension fifth wave, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of this becomes your fifth wave, which is, you know, eventually it is possible. It is possible. So it's either rejection, double top, 0.88, or you actually break through here and we head up above $90,000. And you know what's going to be interesting here to analyze that momentum to the upside is the high volume, right? If you do get a high volume spike here, right, and then you start consolidating, then this is the wave that you are interested in looking for. The zones of confluence, SFP from the highs of Wednesday, that's an option. But you need a high volume breakout to detect that fourth wave, and then the fifth wave is the one that you want to short. And it might look very, very confusing, but it's just a plan to be aware of. If your levels do not get rejected, then what you're looking at potentially is an extension fifth wave, right? Where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of this is your fifth wave from this 1, 2, 3. They don't usually happen, but it's something that you want to be prepared for just in case you do break out through these levels of resistance. Well, and there's not much resistance. This is why this is the issue here. Anyway, let's go through comment section, see what the people are saying. I think that's the highest possibility. Yes, highest possibility. Double 1, 2 in 1 hour and then wave 3 down. Double 1, 2 on the 1 hour. Interesting. Double 1, 2 and then down on the 1 hour. I have to say, it could be an option. It could be an option as well as a double zigzag here. This movement up as a double zigzag. So yeah, someone's saying here on the 1 hour that this is obviously the 3-wave correction, and then you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the price nukes down. I have to say, it is a possibility. Let's see how we react at the highs here. And it could be an entry if we do get an SFP, because if we do take out those highs, another option here is a double zigzag, where you have a zigzag up, the correction, and another zigzag to the upside, and it ends up, you know, just nuking down, right? So a double zigzag here related to this impulse down is possible. You're really stretching it. You're getting above the 7/8 Fibonacci. Preferably 0.88 is not even touched. We don't like 0.88 wave 2s. So we're going to have to see, right? Let's see if we do take out those local highs now in the next coming minutes, and we do get a possible internal SFP. where we could get into a possible scalp entry short with very good risk management. Going to set the alerts. Going to go through the comment section and see what the people are saying. Let's go. Let's go. Let's read a bit of comment section, see what's going on. Let me know the plans for the weekend. So what to do finally? What I am looking at is an SFP of the highs. If we do not SFP from the local highs of this range, I am looking at the 0.88 as an aggressive scalp entry. 0.88 is a very respected, also I like to call it the second golden pocket. Very, very well respected. How many times do you miss hitting the highs, right? Where it looks like it's going to take out the highs and it doesn't, right? 0.88 touch. We have many 0.88 touches. They get respected. It's an absolute bomb. You know, 0.88 right over here, right? Looks like you're going to take out the low. You don't. 0.88 gets the bounce. So it is a level. It is a level, but that's the only level that you can enter. And then the stop loss eventually comes at the low, right? So we get in the movement to the upside. Let's see. It's either local double top. If we break through, we got the 0.88, and I'm going to wait very, very patiently. And we just want to be aware of the breakout. Okay, want to be aware of the breakout because you could get that breakout. The price just gains steam here and it suddenly pops through. But we're going to get those levels on the chart. And it's either tap it, good risk management, we're going to turn that yellow because I like the yellow for the 0.88. Not many options here. Not many options. And, you know, for a long position, I have to say that I would prefer a corrective structure. Let's just get something ready here for the next coming, you know, hours between today and tomorrow. Just to realize that, you know, guys, this range is extremely complex, I have to say. Okay, this area, we got so many different options. There's so much overlap. You got a flat potential, running flat potential. You know, the double 1-2, yes, it's you know, without a doubt, it's a scenario. I'm just aware of the liquidity that there is above 90k. It's just so much that it is disturbing. Obviously, you do have the flat idea where you have zigzag down. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, is this the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You form an extension here on the fifth wave. Then I have to give it a possibility. So the resistance that we have here is not much. We're relying on a 0.88. We're relying on a local double top. Not much here to rely on when we you know, consider confluence. Let's take a look here at, yeah, where we are getting resistance at the moment is the previous week close as well. This blue horizontal line is the previous week close. That's where the price is reacting throughout today. But as explained, this movement down is looking very corrective. So this rejection is not looking great as an impulse. So that's the main issue right now here. As explained, I don't want to short down here, especially on, you know, realizing that this movement down is very, very corrective. So that gives a good chance to take out the highs. So yeah, and yeah, plans for a swing long position. I mean, yesterday was an insane option, guys. I got 2 DMs. Let me get those DMs out. Well, I don't want to. Oh yeah, no, don't want to show any names here. But I got 2 nice messages today from people, you know, actually long in here, this area below 85k, just going with the theory. There we go. We're just about to take those highs. just with the theory of the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I don't know where their stop losses were, but overall, you know, they longed this movement to the downside. And, you know, obviously very, very happy with being in that long position. So let's go through the comment section and I'll break down a little bit of the bullish case scenario. Bullish case scenario that could look is also interesting. Let's break down the bullish case scenario here on the 5 minute. If this movement to the upside is an impulse, the good thing is yesterday's levels, previous day point of control. If this ends up being an impulse and we do get that pullback, the pullback needs to be studied throughout the weekend, right? That is the moment that we would say, okay, if this movement down looks corrective and it's very overlappy, right? This is not overlappy at all, right? You have a move up, bang, then big explosion, big gap here, little consolidation. That's what you want to see usually in your wave 4s, right? Boom, movement up. There's no overlap here, so this is like related to an impulse, right? This does look pretty strong unless it becomes a double zigzag where you take out the high and you have 7 waves. If you have 7 waves, you're looking for a double zigzag potential. Okay, so yeah, that's one of the scenarios. That's if we're going to relate this to a multiple 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Boom. The only chance here would be a double zigzag. So you need a zigzag up. This is your wave X, and then this. You want that other zigzag here, right? And then you would say, okay, there's 7 waves here. That could be a correction, but this range is not easier. It's not easy. What would be easier throughout the weekend is getting the movement down, and the movement down, right? Let's just say we get that movement down, okay, and we form this movement. And the third wave here does not manage to break down to lower prices and form a wave 4 and a wave 5, right? And then you have that impulse down correction here. And then obviously you're looking for the price to roll back down. On the other side, this would be the bearish scenario. You move down aggressively and you get an overlappy bounce, where you're looking for continuation to the downside. On the other side here, if you're looking at this as an impulse, the ideal scenario would be getting the movement down, boom, the little bounce, the next move down that you want to be seen very aggressive. If you don't form the 4-5, right, you get an epic bounce at the previous day point of control, for example, and you start getting into the territory here of your wave 1 and 2. That is the moment, preferably wave 2, that you understand, okay, impulse up, very strong, movement down is overlapping, this is likely corrective, and the probabilities are high to take out this high right over here of today. That is the moment eventually that, you know, would be very, very interesting to look for some long opportunities. You know, if this is your impulsive move, your correction down, you know, arguably discuss, you know, you're looking for a long trade here on the correction, and not only to take out these highs, but ultimately look to take out, you know, the liquidity at above 90k and 91k, right? That could bring you that zigzag move to the upside. But you need this structure, right? You need an overlappy, your third wave failing to move down, and that's where you realize, okay, there's the opportunity comes here, right? So yeah, I have to say with this price action, it's not been an easy last few days. Okay, last few days has not been easy. Last couple of weeks has been easier to detect a few scenarios. There's been some epic trades in this zone. Been some very, very good trading setups in this area. But this overlappy structure and the breakdown and the wicks and not being easy to actually give the probability to either move up or move down. A lot of confusion, a lot of overlap, a lot of manipulation you will see out there that they do say. Almost took out the high here. Anyway, let's go through the comment section and see what the people are saying. Smash up the like button, guys. I'm going to go around the table and see if we can get to over 500 likes. Yeah, no trade at the moment. No trade at the moment. Looking to get into a SFP here. Would be nice. We almost took out the highs. So we're going to wait here to see if we can take out those highs, get an SFP, or the 0.88 is going to be an option. 0.88, at least for an internal scalp. So either local double top or 0.88 is a very, very good level. It does get respected a lot of the times. And if you break the zone, then I sit on my hands. That's the plan here. So let's see. Let's go through comment section. Andy, they're going to pump and dump at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. What time? Where from? Pump and dump. Smart money, my man. Much love to you, brother. Nice to see you around. Andy, we did SFP on US dollar tether. This was your short entry. Yeah, let me just double check that because we probably... Let me take a look at US dollar tether. Oof. Yeah, this is the thing. Maybe some people did manage to get into the trade setup. Let's take a look here at BTC US dollar tether on Bybit. On Bybit, we did not hit the local highs. Maybe on Binance. No, not on Binance. On some exchanges, on Bluffin exchange, we did hit those highs. Yeah, on some exchanges, we did hit the local highs here. Not on MEXC. Yeah, on some exchanges, we did actually hit the highs, huh? At least on Bluffin, the highs were taken here. Or on Bybit US dollar tether. Yeah, the highs were not taken. No, not on Bluffin. The highs were not taken, but that would have been most of the exchanges did not take out the high, which is disturbing. Let's take a look at I think Bybit, BTC, US dollar, perpetual. Yeah, we did not hit the highs. Most of the exchanges did not hit the highs, okay? Bybit, US dollar tether almost scratched those highs. Yeah, not valid. Not valid, just missed it by a couple of dollars. Solana dump coming. Let's go. J Steam, much love. US dollar tether dominance SFP market cap. Take a look there, SFP, and this was your short entry. I meant the US dollar tether dominance SFP. We ain't going down without sweeping 91k, says Venki. This is the issue right now, where we have 91k being a massive zone of liquidity. Okay, massive area of liquidity, the $91,000 range. Okay, so Someone is saying in the comment section, we ain't going down till we actually hit $91,000. This is what is disturbing about the amount of liquidity that there is up there, as you can see here on the liquidity heat map. Okay, there's a big block of liquidity, and that, in my opinion, is the most interesting short that there is. Okay, the fact that we did not hit the highs here, I'll tell you what, if we do sweep up the lows and get a reaction here, I am going to take into consideration range lows, range highs, right? If you sweep up the lows, it's a possible sniper. Okay, very, very boring. We're in the middle here, guys. We didn't even take out the highs, not taking out the lows. We're kind of stuck in the middle. Let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see. But if we were to come down to sweep up the lows, I would consider that internal scalp long entry. VWAP is a little bit far away, unfortunately, but for me it's still valid. It's valid just to get the sweep of the lows of the internal range. If you break it, you move lower. If you sweep it and get back above, it's an entry point. Good risk management. Let's see, man, today's price action is literally stuck. I was going to say stock market. Let's take a look at the stock market. We've got New York Open now in the next coming minutes. 2 minutes now for New York Open. Let's see how New York opens today, Friday, and we do get some local volatility. The plan here for me is to sweep up the highs or sweep up the local lows for Bitcoin. I'm going to keep it simple. It's Friday, baby, guys. Yes, it is. Yeah, for me, it's either going to be sweep the lows or sweep the highs. Gonna keep it simple for a scalp entry. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Guys, if you are interested in trading, Bluffin is a great platform, okay? Down below, you do have that great bonus. $1,000 deposit bonus, guys. If you deposit $7,000, you're getting $1,000 on top of that, guys. It's the first link for Bluffin, okay? Check it out. It's an affiliate link. It's another way to support a channel. I may earn a small commission here, but at no cost for you. You only get the bonus. 300k is coming, boys, says Benki. Not today. 1 minute for stocks. Stock market open right now. Is opening right now. Let's smash up that like button, guys. All the way. It is Friday. Hope you're doing well. Absolutely no way. 91k first, says Botmation. Yes. New York is open for 30 minutes already? You must be joking. How do you know that? Did you sell your soul and crossroad something? New York opens 9:30. Yeah, it's open. It opens at 9:30. Okay, and it is 9:30 now, if I'm not mistaken, in US. I mean, I'm in the UAE, so. What time is it there? What time is it there? All right, let's go. New York Open. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. S&P getting a pump. S&P getting a pump on New York Open. Oh, it wants to pop. This is probably going to help Bitcoin. It's probably going to help Bitcoin. New York Open getting that rally here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It might get a little reaction at that lower high on the S&P. 7-8 Fibonacci, lower high. Man, Bitcoin's dead. S&P getting the pump also with the Nasdaq, I assume, and the Dow Jones. Probably going to help Bitcoin. But wow, Bitcoin is literally stuck. Are there any other altcoins that are getting some volatility? Crypto's dead. Guys, we're going to have to move to stocks. Solana. Oof. Solana in that everlasting downtrend. Someone saying Solana's ready to nuke. Solana looking ready to nuke. I mean, it is another lower high, right? Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Do we get that lower high here on Solana? I couldn't care less about this trend line. It seems so. Solana is struggling very much here at this block. Bitcoin moving down. Let's see if we do sweep up the local lows. Would be nice to sweep up the local lows here. If we do not get that bounce from the local lows, I would be eyeing the session VWAP. We're going to give the VWAP a chance here. VWAP also at the highs. So this is an interesting area for me. You got the highs right over here with the golden pocket from this movement to the upside, from this pivot low to the pivot high. And that would just be for an internal scalp. Okay, so let's see if we do sweep up lows and then bounce, or we break down, come down to the VWAP, golden pocket, and this resistance support flip. That's a quick scalp level. $87.2 to 87.3. Interesting level. Sweep the lows of the range after this pump and get the reaction bounce. Let's see if we do get that. Moving down here. I'm going to give it a valid entry here. I'm going to give it a valid entry. Going to give it a valid entry here just because we swept the lows. Let's see the S&P 500. Let's see what's doing. Moving up. Bitcoin valid sweep of the range lows. I do not like this. I'm going to give another chance here at the VWAP. If we do get down, we got that fair value gap here. Of course, that fair value gap wants to hold. We want to hold that fair value gap. If we don't, then the VWAP with the golden pocket and those highs could be the option here. S&P is still continuing to move here to the upside. We're testing that major pivot lower high from yesterday. It's not the greatest level. Not the greatest level. If S&P gets a rejection here, it's probably going to drag Bitcoin down. Let's see if S&P does behave and manages to cross through here, this level. The fact that we did not take out the highs on most of the exchanges here is telling me that we could very likely take out the highs. For this to be the start of an impulse, I want to see those highs being taken again. Poor high right there, poor rejection. Let's see if we get that bounce. It is trying, but it doesn't want to. Fair value gap, not getting the bounce. S&P 500 rejecting, not helping. Yeah, rejecting here on the SFP. If we come down to the VWAP, I would say that the VWAP is a very, very good level for a bounce, because we got the resistance highs as support. Session VWAP. Yeah, I would say that those highs have a good chance to be claimed again, just because of how we are ranging here. This does not look like a powerful start of a major drop, especially with that high. Let's see, let's see. I'm going to set the alerts here on the breakdown. S&P 500, getting the rejection from that lower high. Not going to help if S&P is going to take the move down here. It's not going to help Bitcoin for sure. Let's go through the comment section, see what the people are saying. What's going on? Nuke to 80k today possible. Very, very possible for sure. Possible as anything. Yeah, S&P 500 in the bounce back up. Next level is going to be the VWAP here. Session VWAP. Let's see. What's with the new look? The new look is because it's Friday. It's Friday and today we're going out. Today is Friday and we're going to have a good time. That's why the new look. Nice Friday vibes. Let's go. Dropping down here, S&P rejecting at this major pivot, and also the 0.88 Fibonacci, the second golden pocket. Look how the 0.88 Fibonacci, guys, from this movement down that we had from Thursday, from the pivot high to the pivot low, 0.88 doing the job here. Let's see. Come on, Bitcoin, get that bounce from the fair value gap. Let's go. First zone, second zone, right over here. Golden pocket, VWAP. Poor highs. I don't like these highs. These are poor highs. I don't like an impulse to start from here, almost taking out the highs on most of the exchanges. These are poor highs. A lot of people very confident that 91k is going to be hit. It's falling. It's tanking, bro. Yeah, it's coming down into the fair value gap. Okay, it's not tanking at the moment. It is trying to hold. It is trying to hold the zone. I have to say, it is a zone where you want to manage risk very, very well, because you have the potential of a 5-waver being finished. Okay, it is a bit of a zone where you want to be a little bit cautious. There are some fat red candles. Staffer One, my man, much love to you, brother. Just saw you here in the comment section, my man. Much love to Staffer One, the legend himself. Much love, bro. Much appreciated for you being here on the stream. Yeah, it wants to break down here this fair value gap, not holding. S&P 500 is managing to continue the momentum up. Let's see if we do get to the VWAP. VWAP would be the next level of interest. S&P 500 doing a good job here of continuing the pump. Let's see what Bitcoin wants to do here. Will it want to hold the lows? Yeah, you know, with that, the fact that we have the VWAP so far away here is not nice. It would be nice that the VWAP would be somewhere in this zone to sweep up the lows. S&P 500 is pumping. Stock market pumping. Let's see if it does give that help to Bitcoin to get the push up here. There is a chance right now. There's a little move down. I would say it's a valid entry. Tight stop loss at the low. I do like the idea that these highs need to be claimed again. I like it very, very much. Very, very much. Get that movement up here to get those highs. Stock market is pushing through. S&P is pushing through, just about to claim those highs. Probably going to give that push here for the price of Bitcoin. Yeah, fair value gap holding here. There we go. Let's get the push. Come on, come on, come on. Push, 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 push. Yeah, and the probabilities of hitting the highs at this point is very, very high. You know, either the SFP from here or it got a little wick down. First attempt failed. Second attempt. Let's go. Let's go. Get those highs. There we go. There we go. Let's push through here. S&P 500 testing those highs of Thursday, helping Bitcoin getting that move up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Man, I had a first failed attempt. First failed attempt on that long. Second one. Okay. Do we get an SFP here? I got wicked out on the first one. We're holding above the highs, so no SFP from here at the moment. Can we push through to the 0.88? Maybe it's going to push through. Yeah, maybe this was a little bit harder. We, you know, basically in the middle of the fair value gap. Price decided to do a little wick here. What's still valid for a re-entry, okay? Still valid for that re-entry from this point. Little fair value gap. Very corrective price action, guys. Very, very corrective. So it's definitely worth a shot. Sniper short on the SFP. Yeah, we did get the SFP in the end here from the highs. I mean, those highs were not nice. When you have these highs like this and you get that movement almost taking the highs, very overlappy structure, no major solid impulse. You know, for me, it was pretty clear that that these highs were likely going to be taken. So it's either a bounce SFP from the fair value gap, either or get the bounce at the point of control, which was with the golden pocket. So those were the two options. Those were the two guidelines from this setup, from this trade. It was either fair value gap lows to hold for that liquidity grab. It did get a little double wick here, but that's okay. Or the other option was the VWAP with the highs of this range. Currently trying to get that SFP here from the local highs, but not managing to succeed at the moment. Not succeeding here with the SFP. S&P 500 is pushing out, guys. Wow, nice little rally here with New York Open. Bitcoin failing the SFP. It is failing the swing failure pattern, so currently not interested. Swing failure pattern has failed for the moment. Yeah, swing failure pattern failing here. Looks like it wants to follow through. Looks like it wants to pop out. Currently trading above those highs. Let's go through the comment section, see what the people are saying. Nuke to 80k today, possible. 84.5k. 84.5k. It's finally getting that SFP. It wants to, it doesn't want to. This is the defensive trading area. This is the break-even zone. Break-even zone. S&P 500 could get the swing failure pattern from this high, which will help Bitcoin get the nuke. Will help Bitcoin get that SFP cleared here. Let's see. But for the moment, it's not swing failure pattern here. It's not creating that swing failure pattern. If it does, if the S&P does nuke from this pivot high with a failed breakout, it's going to help Bitcoin to get that correction. But for the moment, it is not creating the swing failure pattern. The S&P 500 from those highs created on Thursday, it might just get Bitcoin that move down. Finally, with that swing failure pattern here, I mean, this is a zone to be relatively defensive, especially when the stock market is at these highs. But hopefully the stock market nukes down from here for anybody that's getting into a short position. Let's see. This was only a scalp. Whoever got into this trade as the fair value gap, it's only a scalp to claim the highs, okay? Most of the profit should be taken at the highs. If you did enter this SFP right from the range lows of today, it's only a scalp of, you know, $700. Those highs were disturbing, man. This for this to be the high, I mean, this one after this pump, highly likely this was corrective, so there was a chance of longing the range lows or a chance to long the VWAP, and now actually forming the SFP. If stock market gets that failed breakout, which it doesn't look like it is trading above, obviously stock market dumping will help Bitcoin to get that dump down. valid SFP in the end. It didn't look like it. We had a little bit of a consolidation on the lower time frame, but valid for a short entry. So it's range high, range low at the moment. Let's see who wins. Are the bulls going to win from here, or are the bears going to win? They were the only entry points for me. Either SFP from the range lows or SFP of the range highs. We got both of them, guys. So if you are positioned in both scenarios, we want to see which one's going to win, right? From this point, will we get the move down? Maybe go lower, maybe get that first reaction here at the zone, or will we form a higher low and pop out? This is a zone to be defensive, okay? Be defensive on your entries. SFP of the low, SFP of the high. Whoever wins, whoever entered into a long, profit should be taken at the high. Profit should be taken at the highs. Only a scalp. Shorts are very, very interesting eventually with this SFP of the highs. Let's see, it might actually move down from this point. Let's see. What is disturbing is the stock market, which is actually doing a good job to stay above the highs from Thursday. Going to get a bit of room here for the stop loss at a slight loss. Let's see. It was the only levels to consider either a long or a short in this boring range. Trade the range, right, until it breaks. So you're longing the lows or you're shorting the highs. Liquidity grab. This does have the potential of slowing down here and getting the rollover. There is that potential eventually. We just need to manage risk with our entries. SFP was possible. If it wasn't an SFP, the 0.88 was the next option. And for longs, sweep up the lows. If you do not bounce successfully from the lows, we're looking for a bounce at the VWAP. The highs here, just a resistance support flip, which is actually with the golden pocket from your last pivot low to the pivot high, which is in that zone. It is a nice little confluence area for a little reaction bounce. There could be an aggressive scalp long to be taken right there at 87.2. That's if we do go down there, of course. It's Friday, baby. Time to put that music up. Let's go. It is Friday, legends. Make sure to destroy the like button if you do enjoy the content. We're focusing more on the higher time frame. It is Friday, legends. Make sure to destroy the like button if you do enjoy. Stop fighting, chat. Get some help. 1 minute for each. Let's be professional. Man, what's going on? No fighting, discussion, staffer. Yeah, Alex. It's okay. It's only a discussion. Anyway, in this little boring range, managed to get into a couple of trades. I'm not taking profits from the short. I'm going to give the short a bigger chance eventually. I'm going to give the short a bigger chance to roll over here to the downside. So smaller position, not the greatest entry. But yeah, I'm going to give the short a chance to roll over. And if not, we pop to the upside. S&P is above the highs of Thursday, so it did not fail to break down. Man, Bitcoin, if S&P continues going up, it's going to give a little bit of fuel for Bitcoin, huh? Next high to be tested on the S&P was the highs of Wednesday, which is looks like we are on the way here. And Bitcoin. in the middle of the range. Swept the lows, swept the highs, and now it's decision moment. Do we pop out or do we roll over? I know it might be you know, this is the kind of zone where there's a lot of people that want to enter shorts. Okay, if I do go to the order flow here, there's been a lot of shorts entering on Bybit at the moment. We're probably getting some pretty interesting shorts entering here in the market, which naturally has created that pump, right? We've been getting some shorts here on the movement down in the last 30 minutes here, as we can see, getting that bounce. 3 million shorts at the low, 2.8, yeah, over 5 million shorts, getting into a short where we were looking for a long, right? 5 million shorts on Bybit entering here. And obviously, a pretty obvious stop loss zone. So, you know, that was the projection of today. It was either this low over here with the fair value gap. If you lose fair value gap, that's your second option to get that bounce. The probabilities were higher to take out the highs still here. I know there's a lot of people interested in shorting. I have, you know, there's no doubt. But for me, it's SFP. Stop loss to close to break even. Stock market is pumping. This might fuel Bitcoin to go to test the highs again and maybe get a pop out. Okay, when stock market is bullish, it definitely helps the price of Bitcoin. If we would have got a swing failure pattern, failed breakout from this high, which we did not, that would have been very good for Bitcoin eventually, Bitcoin shorters. But that was not the case. So Bitcoin does have a chance here to retest those highs. I am no longer interested in a short position if we test the highs here for Bitcoin. Unless we hit the 0.88. 0.88 I am going to consider a short, because a 0.88 for me is the second golden pocket. It's just such a respected Fibonacci. It's cheeky. You know, you almost take out the highs and you don't. You hit the 0.88 and then you reject. 0.88 is magical sometimes. So we take it into consideration if we don't have any other levels to get into the possible sniper shorts. As explained, I'm not interested in any shorts if we take out the highs until we get to the 0.88 in this case, from the highs created yesterday, Thursday. And I mean, it might break through, it might not, it might roll over. I don't know. I know my entry, I know my risk management. I understand that a rollover from here is possible. So I'm actually interested, right? When you got this rally throughout today, I understand that this reversal is possible. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to enter some shorts and add to shorts here and none of that nonsense, guys. We could pop out. So it's have your levels, SFP of the highs. That doesn't work. SFP of the 0.88. If that doesn't work, then, you know, stop loss to break even. You're losing small amounts if you do get stopped out. Is this thing about, you know, adding to short positions and stuff like that because we're going to roll over and we're going to 80k is going to get you wrecked. It will work a few times eventually, but the moment it doesn't, you get caught underwater. We don't get caught underwater here. We get stopped out. You know, stopped out, move to the next one. We do see. I mean, yesterday, you know, very likely. So that guy that said I'm in a short position underwater at 87.1k. I said you might be lucky because the probabilities of moving down here or actually ranging are very, very high based on the price action that we got yesterday. Remember, we had the speculation of 12123. We come down to the golden pocket from this low to the high. Obviously you could have squeezed a wave 3 maybe in this zone, but ultimately, you know, the shorts were taken from this lower high and the probabilities were not too great after this movement to get a correction and you know, break out. Probabilities were very, very low, and you could arguably discuss that the probabilities are low for the price to actually move higher from here, just because of the length of the pump that we've had today, it makes sense. I'm not a fan here of counting this as a double 1-2. There's no overlap. This could be a pretty obvious wave 3, or at most a zigzag correction and a zigzag up here. This would be a very, very shallow zigzag to the upside. Very quick one, but it's valid. You took out the high. That means that there is a chance to count a zigzag here. If you took out those local highs, there is a possibility of a zigzag. All of this could be a correction that it's coming to its end stages and we nuke down. This is why, you know, it's actually pretty interesting to look for that SFP from the local highs. Yeah, I'm a bit more of a fan here of rolling over, if I'm honest with you. The fact that, you know, we could pump out from here. Yeah, I think that, you know, it doesn't look too great for that to happen. This is why SFP from here, I mean, it's a good option, as explained at the beginning of the stream. Not every double top is a good option. This is not a good option. It did not SFP anyway. But not all of them are good options. Double tops or double bottoms. But this one at this point is, you know, it is interesting for that rollover. But we manage risk. You know, there's no adding to shorts. It's going to roll over. I don't want to get wicked out. If you do get wicked out, if you don't manage to catch this SFP or the 0.88 touch, then let it go, right? It's been a difficult zone. S&P 500 is just tested the highs. This is the chance for Bitcoin right now. The Wednesday highs have been tested. This might be the one that actually drags Bitcoin down. There is a chance here of forming a swing failure pattern on the SFP, on the S&P. That could, you know, if the stock market decides now it's claimed that liquidity, got above that high. Let's see if it does get a dump. It might drag the price of Bitcoin to the downside. There is correlation on the stock market, of course, with Bitcoin, guys. So we need to always take it into consideration. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Anybody that is, you know, interested in trading, taking these internal scalps, levels, trading plans that we talk about, for swing, I mean, I would arguably discuss that this is a valid swing short zone, but you need a good entry, right? It's one of those. It's one of those. But eventually, this has the potential of rolling over significantly. But as explained at the beginning of the stream, I don't want to short here. Considering this price action, this looks very corrective. So I would want to see the highs being taken again, and obviously an internal scalp long is interesting, either here or either here, and that's how we roll, guys. Right? That's how we roll. Let's see. This door definitely has the potential. If the stock market does get that rollover to nuke from here, right? Get that big drop already based on this information that we have. If we take out the local highs, I'm going to give another chance, but at the 0.88, guys. If we take out the highs, well, even a local double top is going to be optional. But if you break, boop, 0.88, and if 0.88 doesn't, you know, you need a trigger when you get the rejection. Okay, when you look at my entries, that they are after the rejection. You know, after getting above, after getting a bounce, not longing on the drop. You need that reaction to take the decision to put stop beneath the low. Right, because I do get a lot of people, right, that people sometimes, you know, yesterday even, I'm in a short position, I'm underwater at 87.1k, and I said, you know, the probabilities are higher to move down in range. So hopefully he got saved. But don't be underwater, because you never know. The price might just continue to the upside, right? I do not know what the price is going to do. Right? Nobody knows at the end of the day. We can have levels, we can have technical analysis, we can have projections, we can have speculation that this could roll over. But you know, if this pops up, then what we're going to say, right? It just popped out. So you know, manage risk. Not interested in a short here. 0.88 is a level. We don't have much confluence. What are the risks of moving up? That they are there. They're always there. This could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of this is your fifth wave, and you're like, wow, it was an expanding fifth wave. I got caught in the short, adding to the short, and you reject where you need to reject. If you don't reject where you need to reject, then you know you go higher. So you know getting in, you know, creating those plans are very, very important, just for your own sake, for your own risk management. Anybody that is interested, guys, in trading, Bluffing is an awesome platform. It has loads of liquidity. This is where I mainly look for in, you know, my trading setups. Okay, this platform works absolutely phenomenal. Of course, I'm testing Velto, which is a decentralized option. You also have the link down below. Okay. For that, you got Bluffing first link. It is an affiliate link, guys. It's a way to support the channel eventually. If you do like watching, you know, the analysis, the possible intraday setups, the risk management, the education, all of these links down below do support the channel. That's if you want to continue seeing me here in the future. If not, well, you know the deal, right? Bitcoin wants to pop out. S&P 500 attempting the swing failure pattern. Bitcoin is a bit boring, guys. What can we say? It is a little bit boring. SFP of the lows, SFP of the highs. One would arguably discuss that this is a bull flag and we're going to pop out. Let's go, let's go. Some people know what will happen. Well, yeah, I mean, some people know what will happen, right? Well, yeah, the big fat fingers, right? People that have a lot of liquidity, they're the ones, right, that can actually move the market, right? There's only a stack. I still have a long position, lab on. Let the liquidity flow. The most interesting zone. Oh man, this is the disturbing thing. The most interesting zone for a swing short, as we were discussing at the beginning of the video. I mean, if we do not get any reaction at these pivots, guys, I think I'm going to wait patiently. I ain't going to short. I ain't going to build a short position here, guys. Absolutely not. I'm not. This is no zone. This is a zone to be a little bit cautious about because of the massive liquidity. So it's either you reject where you need to reject, which gives you that entry, that good risk management, or if it breaks through, then, you know, I'm not only looking at this high, I wouldn't even consider this high of yesterday for an SFP. I don't like this pivot. This is the area that I want the price to get to. I don't like yesterday's highs for an SFP. No. It could eventually, but I just don't like it. I think if the price does move up here, I think it can just squeeze another $1,000 easily, right? Where we do have that big liquidity at 91K. And this where the fair value gap is, guys, this is the zone. This would be my preferred area for the swing short, right? Which could bring a bigger drop to the downside once hit. I'm not building any short positions here. We either reject where we need to reject, or, you know, we pop out, and then the swing shorts that I would be looking at are up here. Okay, so I'm not interested in shorting if price pumps here. Only on the rejection of the 0.88, or only on the local double top. Oof. I wouldn't be a fan. I wouldn't be a fan, because if this is so that it is a corrective move, the possibilities, if you do hit the highs again, is that this is maybe a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. and it actually pops out here. So a double top right now becomes risky. At least for me anyway. You do you, I'll do me, and becomes a little bit more risky here. Stock market getting the SFP from the highs of Thursday, moving down ever so slightly right now. Bitcoin wants to pop, it wants to break out those highs. Out of that position, gonna have to take a bit of profits here to hedge that stop. Pay some fees. Yeah, popping out here. Out of the short, no short for me at the moment. Short attempt was good. It was a good short attempt, but price decided to pop out. No short for me here, guys. There's not much resistance. 0.88 is about to be tapped, probably breaking out in a wave 3 here. This ends up being a corrective move. 1, 2, 3, we're popping out. I am not entering a short. I'm not adding to the short. 0.88 could be an interesting one. Yeah, stock market is attempting the swing failure pattern from the highs of Thursday. It is attempting it. It is Friday, legends. Keeping a little bit concentrated here on the price of Bitcoin. Let me know if you attempted a long position from the lows of the range, guys. This was the option. I know it doesn't look great to long when the price has pumped so much, right, in the last 24 hours. But we need to understand the technicals. We need to understand the movement down. This looks corrective, guys. This range looks corrective, and you need to understand that moving down to levels where the price could bounce is an option to get into a long still, even though it looks like it's getting exhausted, right? The average Joe is not going to take a long when it's pumped so much already, and this might continue pumping. Short here, stopped out close to break even, maintain some of that long position to potentially go to higher levels. So what can we say? Two options for the long today. You need to have a few options for a long and a short. First option was the sweep of the lows of the range of today, or coming down to the VWAP, which is the highs of this consolidation. So those two options, it doesn't matter if you get stopped out on one attempt and then you come down to the next attempt, because this might be the one that actually pays 4 or 5 times your stop loss. So yeah, I mean, just manage risk, guys, manage risk. Ooh, we're touching 0.88 now. It wants to pop, guys. It's attempting to pop. Above the 0.88 for the moment. Not interested in doing anything here. Not interested in shorting. It's breaking the 0.8 Fibonacci, or that it seems like it is. No reaction on the 0.88. Looks like we're going to want to take these highs from yesterday. It looks like it wants to anyway. S&P 500 it looks like it's not succeeding with that SFP from the highs of Thursday. Ethereum, we stick to Bitcoin. Nice little movement up, nice entry here, guys. This was a valid entry, sweep of the lows. It did wick down. It did look like it was going to dump. People were saying it's dumping, bro, it's dumping. Well, yeah, I'm not interested in longing here, I can tell you that. I want to long at the levels of support, manage risk. If I get stopped out once, it's okay. I can reattempt it. If, you know, the next level is this one, you need a reaction here in this zone. Give a bit of room of stop loss. You don't want to lose the VWAP. You don't want to lose these highs. You don't want to lose the golden pocket from this pivot low to the pivot high. It is the zone to bounce. And taking out the highs were higher probability, guys, from this range. And I know a lot of people would say, I'm not long in here. It already pumped too much. It just gives you a very, very valid entry. And understanding this price action today, hopefully you did get some education out of this movement. I'm not interested in doing anything here, guys. You know, I think I'm not interested in the highs of Thursday for an SFP. I don't like these ones too much. We're probably going to get that continuation up. I mean, this is the kind of SFP that I do not like. I don't like this pivot for an SFP. I rather like this one. 91, 92k, that's where we have that massive liquidity pocket. So we're just about to hit those highs. 0.88 broken. We don't need that anymore. Let me know, guys. Anybody, somebody said I'm still long. Anybody got into this long position? If anybody shorted, you need to be out, guys, as explained. This is no... Market is ferocious. Even though it looks like that we could roll over, market could continue pumping. If this does look corrective, and this possibly could be a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, we just continue with the impulsive move. We just continue with the momentum, and we could have an extended 5th wave. You get the deal, guys. We need to adapt to the conditions. Don't stick to only one side of the market. Realize where the opportunities are for the longs. Realize where they are for the shorts. Realize where they're not are, right? Where there's no shorting opportunity. Make sure to understand Elliott wave theory as well. Nasty tap from that lower high right there. We got SFP from that nasty lower high that we created yesterday. Yeah. What can we say? If stock market doors create the SFP from this point, it could help the price of Bitcoin get the dumpy. Ooh. Aggressive entry, but it wicked just above that lower high from yesterday. I missed out on that short, legends. I missed out on that short. Quite a significant correction here. Yeah, I'm actually gonna take a bit more profits here from that long. We've hit the golden pocket. We haven't just yet. I am going to take a bit more of the profits from the long. I want this to be a wave 3, 4 and 5. We're just coming down to the 50% right now. If golden pocket is hit, I'm going to scratch a bit more profits as fast as I can. Anyway, we've hit those highs right there. So yeah. Let's see if we hit those highs. It's not going to be looking too great. We're just about to hit them. Yeah, highs hit. I mean, I have to say, this was a very, very snipey trade situation just from those lower highs. I was not in the zone to get into that sniper short. not in the zone, but right now there is a good chance that we could reject from here, okay, and sweep up these lows. So whoever got into that short, it is aggressive, right? We know it is aggressive, but it's one of those snipey shorts that has a good chance at this point. Has a good chance to sweep up these lows with this current price action that we got. Anyway, whoever got into that short, I did not get into the shorts. It was not in the zone. We were pumping these lower highs, not too interested. We did not hit the highs of Thursday. We hit the lower high, the cheeky lower high that we got from yesterday. So unless you're in the zone and you're very snipey and you're very, very ready for that situation, you know, I didn't get into that short, guys. I did not get into the short, but it might have been the one right now, with stock market creating that swing failure pattern from the Thursday highs. If stock market wants to dump for Friday, it's likely gonna drag Bitcoin down eventually, right? So, man, this price action on Bitcoin is so disturbing. I really can't get properly into the zone with Bitcoin. I managed to get into the short break even now here. It was a level that was I didn't like it, guys. I can't lie. I can't say this was an awesome short. You know, I talked about it. Absolutely not. did not talk about it. I did not enter. You didn't even hit the highs of Thursday. You hit the lower high right there. Wasn't in my plan. Somebody, attempting that SFP from those highs. I didn't enter. It's a bit noisy at the moment. Bit noisy. The plan of today was either shorting the range highs or longing the range lows. Range lows for the long was a success. The short from the range highs was stopped out close to break even. That's all good. That's all okay. If you got a good entry, you got good risk management. It is what it is, right? All good. But man, this price action of the last few days, holy smokes, you're going to see some people saying manipulation, right? It's manipulation. I would say, yes, it is manipulation. Trading this chart throughout the last few days has been a little bit challenging. This was a pretty obvious long, I would say. This is actually a pretty obvious long. I was already in bed. And I can't be stuck in front of the computer, guys, 24/7. Today I'm going out, guys. Today we're having a good time. Today I want to chill a little bit. But the movement down from yesterday was actually very, very interesting to consider the long position when you got beneath the lows here, when you understand a little bit of Elliott wave theory as well. Not that the confluence down here was amazing, because you're literally very close to hitting this low from the 1st of December, and not easy, maybe some people did not get into the long. I actually got 2 DMs of people saying I actually longed because I understood that we were forming a 5th wave and we were ready for the reversal, and that's pretty epic. I like to see that. Somebody that's actually sending me DMs saying, thank you very much for the education, for everything, right? I'm realizing where to enter, when to not to enter, how to manage risk, and all of that is all good, because it means that some people are learning stuff. But you can literally say, yesterday you got the big move down here, the little bounce. That's what you want to see in a 4th wave. And then the 5th wave here, and you're slowing down already. That's the moment, to look for longs or your double bottom, and, looking for that reversal to sweep these lower highs, which is your main first target, right? I get the confusion, because a lot of people are going to say, well, if this is an impulse, why didn't we bounce and continue down? Well, this is the problem, guys, from this range. This range is getting very, very disturbing, complex. You've got lots of overlap, and what we could be forming here is a very complex WXY. Or you know, zigzag up, zigzag down. You know, impulsive move here for a running flat, and then we roll over. Another option is zigzag up, zigzag down, and here you form a triangle throughout the weekend, right? You got your wave W, your wave X, and then your wave Y here. And then obviously you look for the move down, because this would be a corrective structure coming from a downtrend, and it just ranges in, you know, just very, very volatile, very, very complex range. Okay, I have to say, not easy. This is why, you know, looking for scalps internally here on the 1 minute time frame is, you know, an option when there's too much noise on Elliott wave theory. So yeah, much love to everybody. It is Friday. Let's get that music banging here. Let's get the music banging. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can hear the music. Is it too loud, or is it not loud enough? Is it not loud enough? Let me know. Very complex, not easy trade, this range, Andy. I feel you. Very, very complex, but at least we could manage to get something out of it. Oh man, this SFP, man. I mean, this might be the one that actually gets a larger drop here throughout the end of Friday. Fridays are well known for people to take profit, right? Take profit, spend it in the weekend at the highest point possible. But yeah, at least got a little scalp here from the range low, fair value gap. Taking the highs was higher probability here, which is what we need to understand, right? When I zoom in here and I take a look at how the price has moved down from this high, this was not looking incredibly you know, impulsive, especially with this high right there, almost taking out the high. That's the perfect sweet spot. That's when I realized that if this pump did not, this is a poor high, almost taking out the high. If you get this movement up without taking out the high by a few dollars, and then you come down, I'm interested in looking for longs to take out the high, right? And that's where you come with the areas, right? Range lows, the highs here for a resistance support flip with the VWAP. That's a good option, good level for bouncing. But you realize, right, that the direction should be to the upside based on the movement that we've got down here, which is highly likely corrective. So longs are still looking interesting to take out the highs. And that's how we want to adapt, right? That's how we adapt. S&P 500 succeeding with the swing failure pattern from the highs of Wednesday, sorry, my bad. This is the Thursday one. Wednesday's highs, creating that swing failure pattern successfully. Friday drop. Do we get it, guys? And that's the one that's going to drop the price of Bitcoin. Whoever managed to get into the short, absolute legends. A very spiky, wicky, difficult SFP. Man, Bitcoin, this last few days, I have to say, it hasn't been easy, legends. Hasn't been easy. I'm going to be out. I'm going to get stopped out already here from this long position, but managed to lock in some profits and miss the short. And this short has the potential of going down lower eventually throughout the next coming hours between today and tomorrow. Eventually looking for the shorts more as a swing for a larger pullback in the next coming days. Made sense after this pump, but not an easy entry. Not an easy entry here to manage risk, at least with a strategy. So anyway, who entered? I did see someone in the comment section. Time to short. You should stream every time dressed like this. Let's go, Avid. It might be the brand, the hat, and the sunglasses. Well, this is Friday vibes. This is only because it's Friday vibes. And today we are going out. What do you think, guys? Let me know. You should dress up always like this. Love the Friday look, says Pathmario Ayekos. Much love to you. Andy looking fresh today. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Master Ghoul. Let's go, 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 go. I'm long from 85.3k. Looking for 92k. I mean, it's still looking interesting based on the liquidity that we have up there, guys. Man, this liquidity is disturbing. This liquidity is disturbing up there. There is a lot of it. Liquidity down, but the biggest pocket is without a doubt sitting up there at 91, 92k. So, that's without a doubt my favorite zone for the shorts. Favorite zone. If we do get up there in the next coming days, we'll be doing obviously live streams, maybe video update. Not the weekend. Going to chill throughout the weekend. But if we do get up there, we'll study how we got up there. We will study and see the information that we got, and there might be a high probability corrective move up. And depending on the local price action, we could say, okay, guys, it's time to get into the short for a swing. But we'll see, guys. You know, first of all, it is a good level of resistance, 91 to 92k. You got the point of control at 91.5k. You're sweeping up that liquidity, major lower highs here from the last few days. You also got a weekly level, which we did not tap here on Wednesday. That is sitting at $90,400. We got the golden pocket from the highs from the 9th of December at 94.5k to the pivot low, okay, of yesterday. Golden pocket, the most respected fib, is also in this area, 90 to 92k. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here to just, you know, literally sweep up this zone and then correct down. I mean, let's see if we get up there, right? First of all, but that would be my most interesting zone to take a swing trade. A trade that could last maybe a week, maybe two, maybe roll over to 80k. But let's go level by level here, guys. Eventually, we'll be looking for some scalp trade setups as well. Let me know, guys, anybody that managed to long, short. We schlonged today. Today was a day of scalping just because the range was boring. Even though we're taking higher time frame into consideration, I missed a short here, guys. This is like next level, okay, but managed to get into a little long here and, you know, managed to profit out of that move right there. Let me know in the comment section anybody that managed to get into any trades today, and if you did not, make sure to take advantage of the bonus that is going on with Bluffing. You got it right down here, as you can see. Okay, $1,000 deposit bonus. If you deposit 7k, you're getting $1,000 on top of that. That's the first link, guys. It's affiliate link. You do support the channel eventually with those links down below. And the decentralized option is Velto, which has very competitive fees. I will start trading more there, but I'm happy with Bluffing eventually. At the moment, let's go. You had a few hours to TP your longs. Yeah, I mean, guys, we need a TP if you're scalping. If you longed from yesterday, make sure to, you know, this is a zone where it's getting a bit choppy. Okay, we've had the movement up. Don't, you know, make sure to collect some profits. If we get 91k, then that's just an extra present from Santa. But yeah, this rally over here, note that the biggest move for the moment has been here, and anything that comes after is your profit area. Once you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential after the third wave, if you are in a short from your wave 1s and 2s, your 4, 5 is your exit zone, right? Most of your trade, basically. Whoever shorted yesterday and did not take profit on the drop, you're at break even at the moment, right? Or stopped out already. You know, make sure to collect the profits. Anybody that is long from lower, or anybody that's taken some scalp longs here at the highs, eventually, you know, this is starting to be exit zone, because your biggest wave has happened here. And to get a big wave here is rare. This would be it's a little bit of hopium if you believe that we're going to get that pop today, Friday, into 91k. It's a little bit of wishful thinking. And when we go with the most likely scenario is, you know, this is getting exhausted in this range. The bigger move has happened, and you get the point, right? Small move, big move, small move, exit zone. Small move, big move, smaller moves, exit zone. You know, look for shorts. Of course, this short was, you know, it was difficult. This short was difficult. What can I say? I like to be very, very technical and very nice with my entries, guys. If I didn't enter up here, I'm not entering down here, the short. It's not happening. Unless we get that boom, 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 bang, 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 bit of overlap. I understand that this could be corrective, right? And I'm looking for a short entry somewhere in this zone, because I'm looking for the higher time frame wave 3 down. So that would be my next area to look for a short position. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. Let me know, guys. Anybody that is in some trades, we'll go through the comment section. Anybody has got into some Friday nice. S&P is dropping. Ooh, it's back up. It's failing the swing failure pattern. It's back testing that level right now. It did drop, got supported from the highs of Thursday. And it did SFP from the highs of Wednesday. And now it's coming back up here to back test this level. Let's go. What's going on? Are you more bullish or bearish on average? That's an awesome question. I have to say, I'm more bearish. Higher time frame, okay? Higher time frame, I'm more bearish. Let's get these levels out of the way. If you ask me, there is high probability in claiming $80,000. The problem is here. I'll explain why. If we take a look at the drop from all-time high, for this to be the low, you know, you could argue discuss you got this kind of move down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should be the third wave, fourth wave, maybe fifth wave down. I mean, this is extending a little bit in time. It is taking a long time. So we might be seeing something completely different. The problem here lies on the movement up. This is the main issue at the moment. That to look at this to be an impulse, there's a big issue. There could be a triangle here, and you have a wave W, wave X, and wave Y. You get to 100k maybe. Above 95, maybe 200k, but ultimately I would say that all of this is very, very corrective environment. So for me, even though if we were to pump up in the next coming weeks, overall I think it's either down from here, or it's, if we pump above 95k, it's a lower high here in this region is highly likely, because this movement to be the start of a major bullish structure is just not there's low probability here on this to be bullish. Okay, so that automatically says that these lows are likely going to be taken at some point. Okay, so I am still higher time frame bearish, even though if we pump. Okay, so that's my take here. Pump up, Texas Ranger Andy. Yes, sir. It's Friday, baby. So Friday vibes, but some people are saying that I should do the live streams all the time like this. Might be an option. We might keep it the brand, the hat and the sunglasses with a bit of nice house music in the background. Dapper One, my man, much love to you, brother. Thanks for joining the stream as always. Let's go through comment section here. So are you more bullish or bearish on average? I'm looking for 80,000 to be hit. Okay, so I'm bullish on the high, on you know, long term. There's no doubt about it. But I'm going to start buying some Bitcoin below 80k for spots, and I'm interested in swing longs. Andy, which one is easier, safer to use, Bluffin or Velto? Velto is decentralized. I mean, it connects directly to your wallet, which is good. But they are, you know, they are safe till they're not safe, right? But you know, they are safe platforms, the one that we talk about. Okay, Bluffin is great. BTC is great. BTCC is great. Bybit is great. All of the exchanges down below are legit. Okay, they're super easy friendly, super simple. We've got the order book here, where to get into the trades. Super easy, fast, highly liquid. Bluffin is great, and Bluffin gets you better bonuses, of course. So the ones down below, you can read down below here, as you can see. You get up to $1,000 deposit bonus. So if you deposit $7,000, you're getting $1,000 on top of that. So that means that you have $8,000 in total for trading. So it increases your capital. Any losses as well is taken from the $1,000 of the bonus, which is good. You pay fees with that, and any losses that you have, which is, you know, that's why the bonus is there, right? So yeah, Bluffin is great. What about Ethereum? Yeah, Ethereum, long time since we haven't checked Ethereum. We'll mainly focus here. We'll take a look at the stock market eventually, just to realize where we're at. If the stock market does SFP here successfully, we just back tested that level, which is very, very common as well. So you get the SFP, you come bounce back up, and you back test it. Look at that back test. That's to stop out everybody that is attempting this SFP. Get them fearful, boom, boom, back test, and then it goes. Back tests are also acceptable to enter or re-enter. But Ethereum, man, long time since I haven't checked Ethereum. I'm not checking any altcoins. Not checking any altcoins at all. Focusing on Bitcoin trading, higher time frame, lower time frame. We only need one asset, guys. We only need one asset to trade, and I choose Bitcoin. Ethereum, I do hold Ethereum, but kind of in the long-term hodl. I would say I'm still, you know, a fan of all of this being corrective. Yeah, for me, Ethereum is very, very likely going to form a higher low in this region. For me, this is more corrective because of this price action, but this is higher time frame. So I'll do some analysis on Ethereum. Of course, it's going to take at least 30 minutes to get something solid here. I just don't want to put boxes in and have a very crappy analysis. It's just going to take a long time. I will get Ethereum ready, okay, for the next stream as well. We'll do Bitcoin and Ethereum and look at for internal levels. But Ethereum, Bitcoin is the leader, right, of crypto. So it's most important to understand where Bitcoin's at, where the local opportunities are for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the king, right? There's a trend line support at 2200. Take your time, brother. Much love. Yeah, I know, but it is Friday. How long have we been streaming here, guys, today? Let's see how long we've been on the stream here today. It is Friday. We might stretch it to 3 hours. Music is too loud. Okay, I know it's Friday. You're right. Music is too loud. Let's chill out with the music. People want to hear this. They want to hear the technical analysis. Let's turn the music down. You're very, very right. Even though it is Friday, well, yeah, let's chill out with the music. Okay, I got it. Nice music, by the way, Bebek. Yeah, it's from Epidemic Sound. Royalty free. Did I close already? Is that the long? Yeah, well, there's a little bit open here. It's going to get stopped out at break even. But yeah, most of the profits were taken at the highs. And this does look a little bit bearish. This price action looks a little bit bearish. It's very toppy, right? Very toppy, especially with this wick. When you go to the 5-minute time frame and you realize this movement up, boom, 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 3-wave up, move down, you realize that this is no longer going to be a successful impulse up, right, to get continuation. That's why, you know, I also took most of the profits as we got the movement down here to the highs. I want to see follow through, shallow wave 4-5, and then a correction, and then maybe higher. But if you get a 3-wave move to the upside, and this movement gets to this high, and you're long from here, or you're long from here, you know, or wherever, somewhere in the zone, you need to understand that this is bearish. You got a good chance to sweep the low. This no longer becomes an impulse. So this is why, you know, as soon as we tap this level, yeah, you want to get out on most of the position. So that's going to be stopped out at break even right now. Yeah. Let's go, let's go. LTC pumping hard. Litecoin is pumping hard. Let's take a look at Litecoin right away. Why not? What's going on with Litecoin? Litecoin pumping hard? You must be joking. It's not. Litecoin is pumping hard. I don't see it. I don't see it pumping. Got a nice bounce in the last 24 hours, but it's not pumping that hard. I have to say, it's very downtrending. Litecoin doesn't look too great. It's in a big downtrend. So I don't see where the pump is. Walking Gosta. Come on, man. Litecoin isn't pumping. What do you mean? It did get the bounce. Litecoin pumping. Not too sure where that pump is. I mean, it did get the spike up, just like Bitcoin. They all move the same way, right? At the end of the day. Andy, gold is pumping. Let's take a look at gold here for my man. Gold is pumping. From ETIP. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is very strong. It's a matter of time that gold takes out this high. Yeah, very strong momentum here on gold. This without a doubt for me here on gold, when you get so close to hit the highs, which is the highs from October here on gold at 4,380, you're very likely stacking up here some 1-2s. Yeah, you're stacking up 1-2s to pop out. Very strong here. Gold's momentum. I did buy some gold in 2019. My first time that I bought physical gold, guys, was in 2019 at about $1,400 an ounce. Right over here. I started investing and trading in 2017 and figured, you know, first stock market, then crypto in 2018. And then obviously considering, you know, I want to put some cash into gold. And this was back in around about this area. I remember it was exactly 1,400 an ounce. And I bought, you know, a bit of gold. And that's doing pretty good. That's doing pretty good. Almost a 3x in 5-6 years. I mean, it's a long time, but still. Yeah, gold looks like it doesn't want to stop for the moment in a very, very strong rally uptrend. Let's go. So the scenarios, guys, here for Bitcoin on the higher time frame. I'm not too interested in doing anything right now at the moment on BTC. Had a little scalp, long position, short, internal scalp short was stopped out, and catching that short on the pump was not easy. It was not an easy one. But yeah, let's discuss here the price of Bitcoin on the higher time frame. Man, when we look at Elliott wave theory, it is complex. It is a complex range. My God, this is best scenario here for you know, if we are going to move down here throughout the weekend, right? Let's just speculate that we move down here in a three-wave structure, right? We just end up forming a very, very choppy, rangy structure. And lots of overlap. You know, we could argue, discuss that this is going to be a correction and then we're going to pop out. But if we move down very aggressively throughout the rest of today, and, you know, on the weekend we're trading in this zone, if we have an impulse down, yeah, we're going to have to speculate on the bounce for a lower high, because I would say that a flat here probably has happened, a running flat. Not an easy range. There's so many different possibilities at the moment with this mess. It is very, very noisy, guys. I'm in no swing trades. I'm just getting into some internal scalps, as you've seen today. Just some internal little scalp trades, maybe with the potential of getting into a larger swing here for a few days. But man, this and this, lots of overlap, very confusing. We have a few options. Okay, we do have a few options on the higher time frame. There is a possibility of this being a zigzag, and you have A, B, C, D. You're still on the D wave, form an E wave, you just continue the range here. Obviously this would be bullish, at least in the short term, to take out 95k. This could take still another week or 2 weeks into the end of December. The thing is, we're coming into Christmas holidays, right? End of the year. We might not get a big solid breakout, right? I'm not expecting a big move till January from this range. At least that's what I would say. You know, we're coming into, you know, the holidays. It's very likely that we're going to squeeze out here. Maybe end of the year. Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, obviously in January, we're already talking about here. January is here, so there is that possibility still of ranging here. Get a pump, get above 9. This is why 91 to 92k is so interesting. So much confluence there. Point of control, you do have a weekly level as well. It's a weekly close and open that we had from the previous weeks. There's lots of liquidity up there. So it's perfect to sweep the liquidity, right? Wick up, 91, 92. You have an Elliott wave pattern that is possible still. Not the most beautiful, but it's there. Just forming another lower high here at the 91, 92k zone where the confluence is. And then just to move down here to continue here the triangle. And you know, this is coming into the end of December. And maybe entering into January, you know, is where you get that rally up in a zigzag in this case for that Y wave. This could be still very rangy, guys, for another 1 to 2 weeks. move up, move down, and we're not breaking out anywhere. Bearish case scenario is this one, which is, you know, it's very disturbing. I'll tell you what, if we do form some kind of a triangle now, and you know, the weekend is coming, which weekends are very well known for a range, right? So you might dump here for Friday and then get a bump, not claiming the lows of yesterday, and then bounce a lower high, bump, bump. If we form a triangle here in the next coming days, it gets squeezed. Man, this range is just up and down. And if we do form 2 high lows, 2 lower highs, we could be forming a sideways WXY where we have a zigzag up, zigzag down, and then the triangle, right? Maybe it is the case. It is very rangy, very overlappy. The triangle will confirm me that the probabilities are higher to pop down here, looking at this as a wave 1 contracting diagonal triangle, and then wave 2 and wave 3. And obviously the bounces here, the latest bounce after the A, B, C, D, E is where I would be interested eventually into that short position. So I mean, maybe we are forming some kind of a sideways WXY, right? Which would be literally this scenario right over here, right? Maybe we are in this kind of pattern here, right? We've got, you know, flat structure or zigzag down and another zigzag up, taking out the, you know, the highs and the lows. This is a bullish WXY, which, you know, is coming from an uptrend, as you can see, and, you know, it ends up squeezing and then popping out. This would be a bearish WXY, right, which is coming from a downtrend, where we have the potential of this being the low with that 5-wave structure in a contracting diagonal, and you have a zigzag move up, you have a zigzag move down. So now there's, you know, could this be wave W, this wave X, and now you're forming a wave Y for that wave 2 to then only nuke down. So we're just gonna have to be a bit patient here in the next coming days. But this range it's a bit of a headache. So scalping becomes interesting when it's rangy and it's confusing for swing trades. The option is scalping, so we're probably going to look for scalps in the next coming days, guys. That's going to be the game plan. Just like today. Today's been actually, you know, nice, bit defensive on the short, but ultimately very defensive on that short. Ultimately, the long succeeded. It was a successful long scalp. Fair value gap. You either hold the highs with an SFP. The probabilities were higher to take out the highs, as explained throughout today. I just didn't like this to be, you know, bearish. So the option here was to either bounce from here or bounce from the VWAP to take out the highs, right? We are uptrending. We are uptrending still today. And if the movements down look corrective, you can obviously speculate on longs, fair value gap, fake out. If you move down, VWAP with the highs here, resistance, support, flip with the golden pocket, right? We had 2 plans today for a long, and those were the plans today, which ended up taking out the highs. So we did SFP from here. I had 1 attempt, got stopped out at break even, and I did not manage to short this wick, guys. A bit too aggressive, but ultimately some people did get into the short. The aggressive traders, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, man. This is a difficult short. Did you get into the SFP, or did you just short because you felt like shorting the pump? Be careful, guys. Make sure to have proper levels, proper risk management. The market is ferocious and wants to take your money, not give you money. It wants to take your money. So have plans, have very good risk management. What is this music? Is it bad? Let me know. Is it good or is it bad? Elliott waves say we hit 80k again. Yeah, also higher time frame does point out that 80k is more likely. It is, the probabilities are higher. Regardless if this is the end of a WXY, we just ranging here in this structure, we move down. Bullish scenario, triangle and wave X. This is still corrective. This is a WXY is corrective coming from a low in a downtrend. So you're obviously looking for a movement down later, even though if we get to 100k. So you know, this movement up does not look bullish, and that's the main problem here. There is a big issue to look at all of this to be bullish. And a contracting diagonal here, you know, unfortunately does not work. I mean, it could work, but the problem here for this to be a contracting diagonal, leading contracting diagonal that could be labeled as 333 or 5353, is that this wave looks very impulsive, and this looks, you know, this is a 3 wave. There's no way in a million years that you could get an impulse here. You know, I've gone through this on the 15 minute, on the 5 minute, and just, you know, this does not look impulsive, and this does look very, very impulsive. So I mean, you would have to say if the price does pump very, very aggressively from these lows, I think this is low probability for this to be a contracting leading diagonal. And if you have something else like complex sideways WXYs, they always have higher probability. A contracting diagonal is down the list of probabilities. If you have something else, they have higher probability than a diagonal. So, and you have several options here, which is the ones talked about. You got this triangle over here at the moment. You're still forming a higher low, so you could fit in a running triangle still, and then it moves up, still continues the range, gets above 91k, boom, then rejects, then higher low, and then pops out. And then this one that is very complex. You know, for the moment, we still need more information. A triangle here, or even a flat, take out the highs. I mean, whatever happens, I'm interested in a short at 91k zone, 91 to 92. I'm very, very interested in a move down here of at least $3,000-4,000. I think this is going to be a good trade that we'll manage to get into if we do get up there. So let's see. We'll be here. We'll be doing live streams. We'll be, you know, paying attention to the price action. Don't worry. We are going to be here, guys. Live streams it is. Long live streams it is, guys. From now on, looking for scalps, looking for swing trade. We are going to do full YouTube live stream to look for live trading setups, swing trading. How do you like that? If you like that, smash up the like button. We're going to keep it long. We're going to keep it consistent. We are going to be here looking for setups every single day from Monday to Friday. Come on, give me at least the weekend, guys. But looking for, when it becomes boring and confusing on the higher time frame, we're going to be zooming in on the lower time frame, looking for internal scalps, especially on the New York Open, where we get a bit of volatility, have the levels, have the risk management. That's what we're going to do from now on. Long live streams on YouTube, full on, guys. That is what's going to happen. This music is extremely bullish. Are you shorting or going long? I'm not in any trade at the moment, locally. Not in any long or short at the moment. Okay, I'm going to chill. I don't want to have any trades open if I don't have anything clear, but there will be some more trades eventually in the next coming days. I don't have a proper direction, guys, on the higher time frame for the moment. I mean, there is, I know there's higher probability in coming down to 80k. But I realize as well that if this does not play out, we could have the triangle here in your wave X, which is taking out 95k. So in the next 1 to 2 weeks, I don't have a proper direction for a swing trade at the moment for the coming days. So we're going to have to scalp our way through till we actually get to our levels of interest. Obviously this contracting diagonal move down, this still has a possibility of squeezing up here and then rolling down, at least for a big pullback. So I mean, the interesting zone, at least for a swing trade that could last a few days, is 91 to 92k. Despite whatever happens, out of all of the confusion and the overlap, the best zone that I'm interested in is 91 to 92k. That's where the confluence is. That's where the liquidity is. That's where I want the price to reach. And depending on how we get up there, analyzing the movements, I mean, I think it could be already an aggressive SFP from these highs, or the point of control. Either SFP of these highs. You need some guidelines here. You need some guidelines. I think my guideline here would either be swing failure pattern, and this is higher time frame. You can wick above it on the 1 hour. You close a 1 hourly candle beneath it, then it gives you the trigger to get into the short, right? If it creates a wick and the hourly candle closes below, then it's already a potential entry short, stop loss. And I would be looking for a larger pullback here in the coming days. A significant one, right, of at least $3,000-$4,000 very easily, at least that. I mean, with the potential of going lower, obviously, but that's the best zone on the higher time frame, without a doubt. And there has to be guidelines for your setup, right? There has to be a plan. You got the lower highs right there, perfect. You get above it, you're not interested. You start getting below it, that's it. You claim the liquidity, fake out. That's where you want to position. Good risk management. If you break above those lower highs, then you have the next guideline. Boom, point of control of the range. Bingo, I got it. That's my next guideline right over there. So in between the levels, I think that's how I create my plans anyway. In between the levels where I don't have anything, the good thing, the golden pocket is also from the high to the low. Golden pocket. Let me just put that golden pocket with the 50. Golden pocket is sitting also where we have those lower highs that were formed on Friday, Saturday, right? I'm talking about $90,700. So I like that for an SFP or point of control at 91.5. In between these levels, I'm not shorting. I need the rejection from either here, short, stop loss, look for lower, and if it breaks higher, I'm looking for the short at the point of control, rejection. If you break point of control, I'm not interested. I need to hit it, reject, entry, stop, and then obviously look for the pullback. So that's a little bit of the plan here on the higher time frame. That's what's clear. What is clear is the confluence there. But when we talk about Elliott wave theory, it's Elliott wave theory has violated me throughout the last few days with this price action. There's still too many scenarios. Still too many scenarios. We're gonna have to see how the price moves. If we do form a triangle here, it will be interesting for a breakdown. If we take out the highs, I'm still a fan of a flat here, ABC flat, right? Because you got 3 wave up and 3 wave down for the moment. A 3 wave up from the low and a 3 wave down from the lower high is a flat scenario possibility, which is taking out the highs most commonly of the A wave, and then obviously coming into the levels of confluence. And we could be looking for an ABC flat possibility that obviously gets that movement down later on. So that's a possibility. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility here. Contracting diagonal, ABC flat, sweep up the highs of the range, 91k, claim the liquidity, move down. At least a significant move down with the potential coming to 80k. So we'll see, but that's the higher time frame entry zone anyway. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Much love, Staffer1, the legend. They are watching, Andy. Disclaimer. Big disclaimer, guys. They are watching. This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. This information provided is not guaranteed to be accurate or complete, guys. Always conduct your own research before making any financial decision. We try to do our best here. Okay, make sure to understand. Thank you for smashing the like button. We're almost at 300 likes. Let's go, guys. 300 likes. Long live stream for Friday. We're stretching it to 3 hours. Andy, next time bring with your Magnum gun to fit your Texas Ranger style. Let's go, man. So much love to you, my man. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Hopefully you got into some successful scalps. Everybody here. Day trades. Who else is shorting 90k? Yeah, this is kind of the zone there. I prefer 91k more than 90k. You know, get above those lower highs. That's where we have all of that interesting liquidity. Okay, the liquidity is sitting more at the 91k region. It is, so it is above 90k. Yeah, very, very nice zone. It's Friday, baby, guys. Let's go. Andy, when giveaway? Andy, this fit is fire. Much love, brother. Thank you very much for those kind comments. You're absolute legend. Cal6185. Andy, when giveaway? Very true. We need to do a giveaway, right? We need to do a giveaway soon. We're going to have to do like button giveaway. Get to 500 likes. $500 giveaway. Sounds like a plan. Eric, I'd like to know more about bluffing as well. I just made an account using Andy's link. Now we just got to transfer USDT to get the bonus. That is completely right, Eric. Okay. That's how it's done. Okay. When you do take a look at the terms and conditions here, if you deposit $7,000, you get a $1,000 bonus. Okay. On top of that. Okay. And that's not to withdraw, it's to increase your trading capital, right? So you're getting $1,000 on top of 7,000, so you'll have 8,000 total for your trading capital. Any loss or fees will be taken out of the $1,000 bonus, which is right the main purpose, right? It's great. So yeah, you have the screenshot here. Once you click the link, you will get that information. Okay. Make sure to read it through. It's all legit. They are a legit platform. We don't talk about bad platforms here. Okay. Much love to you, my man. Eric, the man himself. Let's go. Let's go, guys. It is Friday. Let's turn the music down. We're gonna have a good time today. Main zone here on the higher time frame, man. Price of Bitcoin. Very choppy, very rangy, very noisy, very manipulated, right? The manipulation here is insane. Very pumpy dumpy throughout the last few days. Not the easiest range to trade, guys, but if we can get a scalp in the middle here, we'll do that, right? If we can get a few scalps throughout the week, that's all good. That's all good, all nice. Not too interested at the moment of anything here. There's too much noise, not too much clarity. Today's range was nice, long the lows or short the highs. It was a good area, good zone, good zone. We're having a good time, Andy. Ashilnem, much love to you, my man. I hope we all are. I hope we all are. It is Friday. We got to 300 likes, guys. Absolute legends. Almost 300 likes. Yeah, I love the music. Nice. Bolokun. A little bit of funky house. A little bit of funky house music is always good for a Friday. When gold is bullish, BTC is bearish, says Beatrice Espeño. Good traders are like Cal Cox fans. Patient, disciplined, trusting the groove when the move comes. It's not hype, it's inevitable. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, Cal Cox. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Man, Cal Cox is a legend. Love Cal Cox. Let me know in the comment section, guys. I'm sure many people do know who Cal Cox is. He's an absolute legend DJ from the UK. One of the techno masters. I've seen Cal Cox a few times when I was younger. Oh yes, oh yes. Do you ever bring Devil into the live? I'll tell you what, we'll have to bring Devil. We'll have to do a collaboration. I think we're ready for a collaboration already. It's been over a year, I think, that we have not done a collaboration. So that's a very good point. I think we need to get Devil on the stream and we need to do a back-to-back analysis, setups, live trading scenarios. We need to do that with Devil for sure. That's going to be very interesting. Very good point right there. Let me speak to Devil this weekend. Laissez fly. There he is. I heard my name. Here he is. Devil the legend. They're talking about a collaboration, my man. We need to do one. Back to back. Trading and analysis together to look for opportunities live on YouTube here with the community. Smash up the like button if you want a collaboration live stream of a couple of hours back to back with Devil, discussing the levels where we would look for local trading setups, scalps, day trades, analyzing Elliott wave theory, right? We both can come to very good conclusions and some setups together. We do that a lot of the time. We do speak sometimes throughout the weeks and we say, you know, what do you think about this move, that move? What do you see here? Bang, bang. I think this is the highest probability. And this could actually bring an epic live stream where we can, you know, basically brainstorm, right, all of the different scenarios and the highest probability scenarios, right, where we would look at the zones to look for longs and shorts. It's going to happen, guys. Yep, let's do it. The man himself is confirming it, guys. He is confirming that is happening. We got the confirmation live from the legend. Let's go, let's go. Devil Trading, are your views on the current market condition? What are your views on the current market condition? Make sure to go and check out Devil. He will likely be doing, not sure if he'd done a live stream already today or a video update. 90 to 85 short. 90 to 85. 90 to 85 short. It's a little bit of a big range, right? Anyway, legends, it is Friday. Come on, we've done 3 hours today. I'm a bit exhausted. Price is choppy, it's confusing. Nice little successful long scalp in the end. The short got stopped out, close to break even. Didn't manage to short this. But overall, it was a okay day. Thank you very much for joining. Smash up the like button. We will be back on Monday for those long live streams, minimum 3 hours, even to 4 hours. We're gonna look for opportunities locally and on the higher time frame for Bitcoin. Trade safe, stay safe, and I'll see you legends in the next one. Ciao, ciao. Goodbye for now.